Wow. So you really made a lot of leaps within, I mean, you bought that first property at 20 and you said, see ya, professor, I'm going to go run this business over here that you told me to do. And then by 23, you would quit the corporate world. That most people take a lifetime to do that. And you did in 3 years. Okay. And at a very crucial, shall I say, I'll put it lightly, crucial time in this country's history. So you bought in 2006, and you said it was a multifamily. Was it a duplex?
A two-family.
Okay, 2 families. Okay. So you bought a duplex in 2006 with a variable rate. And so you were learning all this, you were reading the book about bankruptcy, you're trying to figure out solutions. And that's what I want the listener to really pull out of this story, is that you didn't sit there and were like, well, I made a bad investment. Oh my goodness, the rate has gone up. I shouldn't do this anymore. But you instead, it's not about resources, it's about resourcefulness. And then you said, okay, well, something about this isn't quite adding up. There are all these people over here I see that are having this amazing lifestyle where they have the time and the money. How can I get from where I am to where they are? And then you got out there and you made it happen. And so talk to us a little bit about, so 2008 happens. How did that affect that investment?
So, well, once I had a loan modification, right? So this is how I did it. This is amazing. So I got I filed bankruptcy, Chapter 13. And I was stupid because I should have used all my credit cards. I should have maxed everything out. I messed up, right? I learned that after, right? So, because I went to my attorney, like, you have good credit. I have no credit card debt. What is this guy doing, right? I know they're looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, look, I got to get rid of this junior loan. So I got rid of the junior loan. So I went back to the city and said, I want a loan modification. So a loan modification, they brought my loan back down to actually market, right? Market value. So I went from paying $380 to my home being like 170 and paying on that 170. I went from paying around close to $3,000 till today I'm paying $1,100 for a 2-family, 5 bedrooms on top, 4 bedrooms at the bottom in Boston, Massachusetts.
Oh man. That is a creative solution if I've ever heard of one. But yeah, you totally should have maxed out your credit cards, had some fun there.
So I have a question. So you did all of this, learning, it sounds like in the early days, right? You got this property, you filed for bankruptcy, you quit your job, a lot of learning lessons, right? I feel like in those early days and I feel like that was really the foundation for what helped to get you to where you are now. So tell us how you made that transition. So you started out as an agent, you started your brand. How did you come to start Thumbprint? Was it just like, how did you think, like, I don't know that a lot of people make that transition from being an agent to being a broker and having their own, place where they start hiring other agents underneath them. So what was that transition like? What made you start to think about that? And when in the process, so in 2006, you bought your house, when did you start Thumbprint?
All right. So good question. Thank you. So I'm working for this broker. It's still a good friend of mine, and he hired an agent. So I'm number one at this brokerage. I'm like, I'm killing it. My mind, my head like that. My head gets big sometimes, and that's what happened at Bank of America. I thought I was smarter than my boss, which not on paper, I believe I was smarter, but he's the boss. So he's smarter than me because he got a better position. Right. So I had to humble myself. So this agent comes in, and he's a friend of mine too. He goes, Alex, I'm getting 20% more than you. I'm like, wait, I'm number one. You just get here and you're getting 20% more than me. Right. And so I'm like, nah. It didn't feel right to me. I went to my broker and I said, you know what? I want a raise. And he was like, well, I'll think about it, And he said, well, anything over, I believe, 500,000, I'll give you 80% for it. And anything under, you're at 70. And again, didn't sit well with me. So I had to talk to Alex E. Edwards and said, look, this is your broker. You have to obey. He's going to tell you what he's going to pay. And that's that. It's his company, not yours. And so I was like, all right, you know what? I want 90%. I'm going to be a broker, and then I'm going to take 90%. So I wrote 90% everywhere in my house, taped. I mean, when I say everywhere in my home. So I could always forget someone's getting paid more than me. And to me, didn't deserve it, to me. And a friend of mine said, yo, why do you care about 90 when you could get 100? I said, you're right. So July 10th in 2015, my license expired. I took the broker test. I failed twice. And I said, you know what? If this is for me, my high power need to give me a sign, because I refuse to renew my agent license. I'm not my salesperson. I'm not renewing it. And July 8th come, I passed. So 2 more days, I wouldn't be. I'm out of the real estate company in 2 more days. I'm out of the industry. July 8th, I become a broker. First person I called, of course, mommy. Called my mom, told the good news. And I went back to the broker and said, look, this is what we're going to do. Right. Again, remember, so this is what we're going to do. We are going to be partners. He said, absolutely not. I said, okay, cool. No problem. I left and started Thumbprint. And, because, again, I was promoting Alex E. Edwards in a company, I scaled pretty fast. I scaled very fast. I was always on Facebook. I was on all social media. I was having a blast with my closings. I give Samsung TVs away like it was no tomorrow. And right now we around 24 agents. 24 agents. I'm in Atlanta. I'm in Rhode Island, and in Massachusetts.